Hello, my name is Stanislav Chernonog, the author and creator of the online school Vector Massage and Somatics, and today we will talk about diabetes. And most importantly, we will talk about the first signs of this terrible disease that will allow you to notice that something is wrong and take appropriate measures. I must say that diabetes is a nasty disease, and people often die from it, and they die rather unpleasantly. Death itself is not very pleasant, but death from diabetes is not good. Amputations, loss of vision, non-healing trophic ulcers, weakness, and bad mood are faithful companions of this disease. But if you notice the first signs of this disease, you can easily adjust your behavior and your diet, and thus live happily and for a long time, forgetting about the diabetes. Let's take a general look at what diabetes is and how it works. We consume carbohydrates and sugars with food. These sugars dissolve, and there is a special substance, insulin, that collects glucose into complex glycogen molecules and stores them for a long time. Diabetes is the inability of the body to transform sugar into glycogen, a substance that is stored for a long time. Accordingly, every time our body is unable to translate sugar into glycogen, we have symptoms of diabetes. The first case is connected with the fact that sugar, when it gets into the blood, thickens the blood. We immediately have difficulties associated with capillaries. Blood gets stuck in the capillaries. Red blood cells gain sugar and become stiff, respectively, in the small vessels, venules. This is all one of the signs of diabetes. Accordingly, if you find yourself with the appearance of blood vessels, venules on your legs, arms, and lower back, this may be one of the signs that your blood has thickened, and it is difficult to test those capillaries through which it should normally pass. It should also be said here that, for example, a decrease in the brightness of vision, or, for example, when the eyes begin to double, may be due to the fact that the retina, the cells that perceive light, are also very dependent on blood supply. If the capillaries that supply the retina are clogged, then our vision may drop sharply. The next sign of diabetes is a rapid weight loss. The fact is that when we eat and store sugar in long-term reserves as glycogen, when we are hungry, when we have no food, our body extracts sugar from glycogen and thus does not consume adipose tissue. If you have started to lose weight abruptly, then you may be happy at first. But if this problem continues too violently, remember that on the one hand it can be dangerous. On the other hand, it may indicate that your body is eating up long-standing reserves, because it does not have the opportunity to form new reserves in the form of sugar. The next reason that logically follows from this situation is the feeling of hunger. The fact is that if our body extracted sugar from us, but it could not store it, then this sugar will be excreted by the kidneys, and we will find ourselves with low glucose levels in our blood, so we will feel the need to eat something and replenish the sugar supply. Therefore, the feeling of hunger and need to eat something on a regular basis is also one of the signs that you are not doing well in regards to diabetes. The next sign of diabetes is that our blood has a higher concentration of sugar. The body cannot put this sugar anywhere, so the body removes it through the kidneys in order to save its circulatory system. And as a result, we often run into the toilet. And as a result, we are constantly dehydrated. Intense thirst is also one of the signs that your sugar is elevated. This leads to unpleasant consequences, for example, dry skin. Due to the fact that there is not enough water, it all goes to remove sugar from the blood. We have fluid on the surfaces of the skin, along the mucous membranes from there, which leads to the skin aging more rapidly, which also leads to the fact that our nasal mucous membranes and all mucous membranes in general dry out, which makes us much more defenseless from all diseases that should stop at the mucous membranes. There can also be attributed, for example, dryness in the eyes, a burning sensation in the eyes. This is again due to the fact that the body saves on tears, which in turn will lead to a decrease in the quality of vision. Another interesting sign that you have diabetes is acne and fungi. If you have a regional white tongue, if you have fungus on your nails, if you have cracks on your heels, if you have some flaky places all over your body, if you have dandruff, psoriasis, if skin itches, then this is a sure sign that you have too much sugar in your blood. This sugar is a favorite food for fungi. Fungi begin to actively breed, poisoning your body with products of their vital activity. In addition, they tend to somehow grow on the surface in order to spread their spores to other candied parts, but that's not all. One of the most striking signs of diabetes is a very high level of fatigue. First of all, our body does not get enough sugar all the time because it takes out the water, Due to the fact that he removes it with water, it washes out additional minerals. Fungus begin to breed on our body. Fungus poisons our body with decay products, and in addition, we do not have energy reserves. So we are constantly without strength and without energy. The last sign of diabetes, which we will talk about today, is non-healing wounds and scuffs. How are they formed? The fact is that if you and I are constantly breeding fungi in our body, if our vessels are clogged, if we do not have enough water inside the body, then it is very difficult for the body to stop wounds, and thus wounds that would typically be insignificant would take a long time to heal. The body simply lacks the resources, and there are a huge number of all sorts of creatures like fungi that would not mind settling in our body and eating the sugar that we cannot convert into glycogen. One of the most important signs of diabetes is, first of all, dryness and the need to consume large amounts of water. In fact, the diabetes test is quite simple. You take lean sugar and find out what condition you are in. Remember that nowadays diabetes is a disease that is constantly gaining momentum, and through simple actions like diet and exercise, you can significantly reduce the likelihood of developing this disease and live happily and for a long time. In fact, our entire channel is dedicated to having an understanding of how it works, having information about the main signs of ailments, noticing them in time, and taking simple actions that will help us heal and just live happily ever after. My name is Stanislav Chernonog, and until next time, take care.